A woman spends months talking to a man online. He says he loves her, he sends flowers, then he asks for $20,000 for a rig repair. She sends it. 2 weeks later, he needs $35,000 more. She sends that too. Then another $35,000. His pastor is sending $250,000. Can she match it? By the time it's over, she sent over $1 million. Her life savings, gone. Here's the part that should terrify you more than the scam itself. She wasn't stupid. She wasn't careless. Every single decision she made felt completely rational, right up until the moment it wasn't. And if you think that couldn't be you, that's exactly what your brain wants you to believe.
If you're the kind of person who wants to understand exactly why your brain does the things it does, subscribe, because that's the whole channel. It starts with a clock. Verify within 24 hours or your account is closed. This investment window closes tonight. Only 2 spots left. This isn't random. Urgency and scarcity trigger the same fear of missing out circuitry your brain evolved to use for actual survival threats, real opportunities that wouldn't wait, real dangers that required fast action. Your brain doesn't have a separate setting for manufactured online urgency. It just recognizes the pattern: limited, closing, act now, and it shifts you out of careful evaluation mode and into fast reactive decision-making. That shift is the whole point. The moment you stop asking, is this legitimate, and start asking, how do I not miss this, you've already lost the ability to catch what comes next. Next comes the badge, the uniform, the official sounding voice on the phone claiming to be your bank, the IRS, or law enforcement. This one has a name, and it comes from one of the most famous experiments in psychology. In the 1960s, Stanley Milgram found that ordinary people would follow instructions from a perceived authority figure, instructions they personally believed were wrong, simply because someone in a position of authority told them to continue. It's one of the most cited demonstrations of authority bias in psychology, though later researchers have pushed back on the original blind obedience interpretation. Some argue people complied because they identified with what they believed was a legitimate process, not simply because they were ordered to. Either way, the underlying pull is real. Perceived authority makes people override their own judgment. Scammers don't need real authority. They just need to look and sound like it. A caller ID that says IRS, an email with an official-looking seal, a voice that says this is officer, and your brain does the rest, filling in trust you never actually verified. This is the mechanism that turns a scam from a one-time loss into a total collapse, and it's exactly what happened to the woman from the opening story. Once you've sent money, walking away means admitting that money is gone. Your brain treats that admission as its own kind of loss, on top of the money itself. So instead of cutting losses, people do the opposite. They send more, convinced that just a little more will get the original amount back. This is documented, not theoretical. In case after case, victims escalate in exactly this pattern: an initial request, then a bigger one, then a bigger one still, each one justified by everything already sent. One documented case involved a man who was preparing to take out a loan to send even more money, only stopped when an FBI agent intervened directly. The scam industry even has a name for this: pig butchering, fattening up trust and investment before the final loss, because the whole model depends on this exact bias to keep victims sending money long after the first red flag.
Lost piece, the reviews, the testimonials, the comment section full of people saying, I got paid, this really works. Here's what people get wrong about this one. They assume they'd be able to spot fake social proof and dismiss it, but that's not how it works. Social proof functions as a mental shortcut your brain uses automatically without consciously stopping to evaluate whether it's real. You don't override it because you never actually catch it in the act. The manipulation isn't sneaking past your skepticism. It's happening in a place your skepticism never gets activated.
All 4 of these stack together. Urgency gets you moving fast, authority gets you trusting, social proof gets you comfortable, and sunk cost keeps you from walking away once you're in. None of it requires you to be careless. It only requires your brain to do exactly what it evolved to do. The one real defense isn't intelligence. It's slowing down long enough to let the part of your brain that evaluates catch up to the part that reacts. If something is urgent, official sounding, socially validated, and asking you to send more, that combination alone is worth a pause. Question of the day: has anyone you know ever gotten close to falling for something like this? What was the moment they caught it? What everyday mystery should I explain next? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe for more. See you soon.